Today is finally the day I am going to start posting on my YouTube channel again. I'm calling it Full-Time Cruizers, spelled with a Z, because if you look up Full-Time Cruizers spelled with an S, there's a man and a woman who have appeared to make a career out of going on cruises full-time. So congratulations to them, but this thing is going to be more focused around street cars, off-road stuff, basically whatever me and a couple of guys actually have. And yeah, I'm gonna show you my Jeep in just a second. So this is my 2005 Jeep Wrangler Sport. I bought it when I was living in Hawaii. That's why there's a rainbow plate on it. It needs a lot of work. I greased all of this stuff up, but you can see it needs to have a bunch of stuff replaced and then probably some stuff painted just so it looks refreshed. The good thing is the frame is solid. So the frame is super solid. And it's on 33s and has a 4-inch lift. Currently, do not have a spare tire. I'll probably get one eventually, but it's just not in the budget right now. And I'll explain that later. I'm gonna get a cold start. I think it has a Flowmaster on it. Can you start it? Yeah, and occasionally I'm gonna feature her in some of the videos. That's my girlfriend. Her name is Nicole. Yeah, it's gonna take some time. Ignore how dirty it is. Okay, so let's look inside the Jeep. I have 3 ducts. Everyone loves to hate on the ducts for some reason. My mom bought me this one. My mom is super into Jeeps, and Nicole's mom bought me these 2. So I will have a grand total of 3 ducts on display in this thing, and that is it. So got the front half roll cage, obviously that's where the ducts are sitting. And then, yeah, 54,000 miles, that's why I bought it. So everything else will be a work in progress. And I'm gonna set up and then give you an idea of what it's like to drive down the road in this thing. Because if you've ever ridden in this old of a Jeep, you'll know how loud it can be. Okay, so we're heading out right now. And I'm just gonna kind of talk a little bit. So originally I bought this thing because Nicole and I were supposed to move from the island of Oahu to the big island of Hawaii, because I was gonna start working out there. And things didn't really pan out that way, so we ended up moving back to California. We've been here for roughly a month, a little over a month now. And honestly, I have no reason for the Jeep right now because it's not good on gas at all. And all those parts in the front that looked kind of rusty, they definitely are affecting how it rides. So those are things I need to address. I thought about selling it, but like I was saying a little earlier, my mom is a big-time Jeep girl, and she has, I think it's a 2021 4-door JK, and hers is basically about, within reason. It's the most you can do to a Jeep. It's on 37s. It's definitely not a grocery getter. She's rock crawling with it. Her husband, who also has a Jeep PJ, he has a 2006, I think, Rubicon, and his is lifted. I think it's on a 6-inch lift and on 35-inch tires, and he's pretty awesome. He's the one that's going to help me work on this one. I'm pretty sure he was actually a mechanic on a rock bouncing team, not like a full-time job or anything, but he was just doing it for fun. So currently we landed in San Diego, California. Thanks to my brother, we're staying at his apartment. We got lucky there. I decided, hey, why not? I'm just going to start making videos, and I don't know how often I'm even going to post. Could be once a week, could be once a month if I don't have any content to produce yet. So my plans for the Jeep as of now, honestly, I'm just going to keep greasing all of the components on it because I don't have a full-time job right now. Neither of us have jobs. So I'm actually on my way to get a haircut right now because I have my second interview virtually tomorrow with the hiring manager for a sales position. So, I can't really be putting too much money into the Jeep at this time, but coming down the road, I've already decided this is on a 4-inch short arm lift, and it's not terrible, but I want to go to a 6-inch long arm, and I've been told that that'll handle significantly better than the way it handles now. Because right now it's better after I greased everything, but it's completely terrifying to drive this on the road. There was a moment when I did not want to go over 55 miles an hour because it just was going left and right and left and right. Everyone was asking me, oh, do you have death wobble? And I'm like, no, I don't have death wobble. It's just, it handles a little bit like it shouldn't. And, it's going straight into the sunlight now. My mom's husband was telling me that more than likely, and he did get a look at it for a second, but we didn't have enough time, but he thinks it's probably just the ball joints and then the tie rod ends. So that's first on the list. I know those aren't exactly fun things, but it's more for the Jeep to be comfortable. I'd rather it be comfortable when I'm driving than constantly feel like I'm gonna wreck. We went to Oktoberfest a couple weeks ago, and that was when I really put this thing through its, I really put it through the test. That's the furthest I've ever driven it. It was 100 degrees out, and I have an app where I monitor the temp of the coolant, and at one point it got up to 220, which I've been told that these things run hot, so it's not that big of a deal. So I'm like, okay, it was definitely running hot. And then my mom lives up a mountain, a literal mountain, like 12,000 feet in elevation. So I stopped at the bottom of the mountain, tried to let it cool off. Didn't want to cool off. It was 100 degrees out, like I said. So I said, you know what? Maybe if I drive, it'll just it'll cool down on its own. I was wrong. I started driving it up the mountain. It started getting hotter and hotter, and I'm tracking it the whole time. And probably some people are gonna think I'm crazy, but it got all the way up to, I think, 248. So got really hot, and then I decided, okay, I need to pull over. This is crazy. This is way too hot, and this is where things start, going bad. So I pulled over, turned it off. That's apparently not good either, because then it just starts to heat soak. But I turned it off, got out, I opened the hood, I parked it in a direction to where the wind was kind of still hitting it, and that's basically all I could do. And we sat there for probably 30 minutes, and I'm still monitoring the temp the entire time, watching the temp on the app, and it is not really changing. It dropped probably 5-10 degrees, which is not significant. But then I decided, you know what? I got to turn it back on and just keep going. I can't sit here all day. So, turned it back on. It just started dropping immediately. It immediately dropped down to probably, probably sat around 218 the rest of the way up the mountain. So, that was probably the worst thing that's happened in it so far. But, she's holding together and there's nothing wrong. I'm not going to drag anyone's name through the mud, but I did buy this car, and these guys were honest with me, so I didn't think anything of it. And I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they genuinely didn't know. But basically, the Jeep had what appeared to be a rear main seal leak. And the guys at the dealer said, you know what? We're going to take it to our mechanic, have him look at it, and then he'll let you know. And then, okay, so he takes it to the mechanic, calls me back. He said, okay, the Jeep's ready to pick up. I go pick it up. He said, actually, it wasn't a rear main. It was a valve cover gasket. I go, oh, okay. You know, I have no reason not to believe him, because when I originally test drove the Jeep, the air AC did not work hardly at all. And, you know, I tested the guy. I said, so where was it leaking? And he said, it wasn't leaking, actually. It was overcharged. And, you know, I drove the Jeep for like a month, and it must have been overcharged, because it basically has been working fine. I've had zero issues with the AC. So that's just me saying that these guys were mostly honest. But I highly doubt that the rear main seal happened to go out, you know, in the past, I don't know, I've only put like less than 2,000 miles on it. So, yeah, I think they lied to me. Or they took it to a terrible mechanic. I mean, maybe that was it. I'm not too sure, but I was under it a couple days ago when we were greasing everything, and I saw on the back of the engine that there was some oil, and I'm just like, oh, that's great. But anyways, I'm not too worried about that. I'll fix things as I go. It's getting dark on me. It's getting dark real early this time of the year, so I'm gonna wrap it up here in a second. I'm just going to talk about the name, and the name is subject to change. I don't know, maybe I'll end up changing it, but Full-Time Cruisers is, I think it's a thing from Hawaii, because my buddy used to always joke around, and he would say part-time cruiser, or part-time worker, full-time cruiser. I think that just means like you have more fun than you like to work. So that's kind of what this whole thing's going to be about. So that's going to wrap this one up. I probably should have said somewhere along the lines, if you are interested in this, then, you know, go ahead and follow and see what happens along the way. But, yeah, if you want, or if you're interested in Jeeps or cars or whatever, you know, leave a comment, start a conversation down there, because, you know, I more than likely will be responding to everyone. It's kind of like YouTube is my main source of social media, so I actually do enjoy being on it. All right, that's going to wrap this up.